situation, what else? Music is your friend. It's always your friend. Make sure to listen to music. Now, I wouldn't advise doing this like I did, but while I was listening to a song called Last Resort by Papa Roach, I was thinking of this character I came up with called Mugen. Now, he had no structure whatsoever. That was the character. He was Mugen. That's all. That's all he was. Through Mugen, and through that song, I came up with the idea of a planet where people had the ability to fight, but instead they were peaceful. And they each had songs basically programmed into their body that would play, and they could only hear it because it was through these style of, like, sort of headphones they wear that hook into something in their chest that plays. And their planet was peaceful. Whatever music surrounds them is the kind of music they play. Now, the main villain comes by and destroys that planet. One person makes it called Mugen to our planet. Our planet, as you notice, Earth has a lot of very strange songs that is completely against peaceful. So he hears all these songs, so he gets this destructive manner. So through the years it builds up, and his basic body adapts to the music. Now, as he dies, conveniently this song fits his planet's ability to fight so well that his body chooses it as his last song. Last Resort comes in. The song Last Resort begins to play as his body goes through the changes as the song goes through. Cut my life into pieces, his basic body begins to pour blood that becomes black scars across his body. And this is basically a last resort for the fighters. When they need to fight to protect their planet, they'll become extremely powerful, but it will kill them. So this was his literal last resort. It was just an idea that popped into my head. Of course, there are two or three songs before it happens. It's not convenient that it was the end of his life either, because it's like a 3 or 4 episode arc where they're trying to fight him, but they can't beat him because his planet is literally extremely powerful. But, of course, none of them have survived, so there's not much they could do. They were all peaceful people then. They stopped all the war and such. That creates a character who came to our planet and was brought around and twisted. Another thing. Light a match. Look at a stream. I was looking at the clouds once, and I had an idea. Just from looking at the clouds, it looked like a waterfall. Not a waterfall, a tsunami. And I had a thought of, I know it's like horrible, it's not much, but I could actually see in my head a guy basically going over the mountains with a waterfall, destroying cities, and taking somebody off and making them fight even more. Always carry around a sketchbook, notepad, anything. If you're a drawing person, bring around a sketch pad. If you're a person who's trying to write a story, bring around a notepad. It's always a handy thing. Books told me, and even a book told me, for professional writers, a notebook or a sketchbook is your best friend. It's literally there. If you have it there with you all the time, if you have an idea, then write it down. Because, tell you the truth, one of the hardest parts of being somebody who creates different series and such is that ideas fly out of your head. It will. You'll have a good idea. You'll sit there and you're about to write it down. You get home and you're about to write it down and you're like, wait, I forget. How could I forget? It's because things run through your head and you want to keep that idea in your head, you'll forget it. You don't want to get rid of it either in your head. You don't want to just sit there and go, oh, don't worry, I'll remember it, because it doesn't work all the time. Now, I've jammed my whole entire series into my head, which is why I don't have to have it written down. But I've had moments where I sit there and I have a really good idea, and as I'm thinking of it, I'm like, I gotta get home, because I gotta write this down on my computer. I forget it when I get home, because, and I mean, I've been up right at the driveway, and I was just getting parked in, and it just, out of my head just like that. It's not hard to forget something. It never is. You may think you have really good memory, but for ideas, They run through your head all the time, and they could be gone. Think of like a dream. When you wake up, do you remember half your dream? No, you don't. Because most of it is gone after you wake up, because your mind forgets it. Though you want to remember it, you forget it. Now, there are some ideas you'll remember. What I advise, though, is that if you do have a laptop like I do, I bring this Mac wherever I go. I mean, I don't let it out of my sight most of the time. Occasionally I do leave it, and I regret it because typically I come up with a good idea. Nobody around to tell, really. And as the idea goes through my head, I forget it when I get home. I don't have my Mac with me, and I can't write it down. Now, if I had it with me, I could just type it down and look. I have the idea down here, so I don't have to worry. Now, having somebody to tell your ideas with, too. That's a good thing. And to sum this up, I'm just going to end this right here because I'm already over 15 minutes and 30 seconds, and I don't want to turn this into a lecture. Another thing you could do good is dreams. You try to remember bits of your dreams. You don't have to remember the whole thing because an idea always starts small. It starts small, it grows and grows and grows. I've had ideas. When I first started my manga Ring 1, it started as the guys, they have rings. That's what it started as. That's all it was. It slowly morphed into something greater, and now I have a whole entire plot for it. That's what it started as, a guy who has a ring. And I got the idea from wearing a ring. Just simple. I was holding out my hand, I was like, thinking of a character, and then I thought of a scar on his arm, and that set whole plot. I have everything set up now. Most everything. I, of course, got to fill in the in-between stuff, the little plot holes, such. But those are big things you need to think of. You need to sit there and look at it. Sum this up. Look at everything. Remember everything. Write everything down. Music is your friend. And your best friend is your sketchbook or notepad, because they are. So, that pretty much sums it up. I hope this helped you at all. If it didn't, then I don't know. I get stuff done this way. So, well, if you need any more examples, just put it down in the comments, whatever you need an example of, whether it's just Facebook or whatever. Comments are always down there, right down there. Put in the comments what you would like to hear about, and then I will make an example about it. Or I could try to help with whatever problem you're having. Like if you think of something but you can't finish something, I'll try to help with it. Of course, I still have my problems. I haven't released anything yet, mainly because of the fact that I can't seem to release anything. But I plan to release something soon. It's all going together, and I was just hoping to help you guys out. Alright, see you next time.